Welcome back to another episode of Full Retard. Today we have more entitled parent story. First up, entitled blank tries to unleash my dog because he was waiting at the door to be let in by OMG look of fury. So this just effing happened, and I'm still trying to cool down, so I'm going to swear so much right now. My pets are my children, and if you hurt them, you are dying to my hand. So my dogs, Meatball, Miniature Dachshund, and Dash, Black Labrador, needs to go outside. I let them out back and hook leashes to their collars where the other end is tied around a pile of the deck. We do this because they try to go into other yards or chase things. One thing you need to know about my house is that it has a glass side door, whereas from the street, if you're walking by, you can see the side back door in the backyard. So a few minutes later, I check on them and Dash was ready to come in, but Meatball was playing in the yard, digging and burying things, etc. We don't have people over because pandemic, so we let them do whatever in the backyard. I call him, but he doesn't come to the door. I thought I'd give him 5 minutes and let him in, then he's ready. A few minutes pass. I'm on my room waiting for a timer to go off so to see if he is ready to be let back in. Then Dash starts barking at something. I go to calm him down and get him away from a window or wherever he's barking from. I look out the back door and see Meatball's chain unhooked. I freak out because I didn't know he could get out of it. I run outside with only panties and a shirt on and start calling for him. Then I hear him crying. I don't usually give him too much attention when he throws tantrums because he's always been a crybaby. When he got his shots, he cried the loudest of any other dog. How do I know? The vet told me so. I'm running towards his cries and I see an adult woman dragging him by his collar, choking him. A young child is with her, looks about 5. I yell at her, running full speed, very angry because she is choking my baby. What the F are you doing to my dog? I'm not supposed to swear since I'm pretty young. Nobody else was home and I was angry as crud. She turns around and screams, running and choking my dog more. I punched her in the face. I used to do boxing, and she drops my dog. She starts yelling at me, complaining that Meatball is her dog now because he was waiting at the door, so I was obviously neglecting him. This woman then had the audacity to say that she deserves him because her son is lonely. I go off on her, screaming, and her son tries to pet Meatball. Not very nicely or gently, may I add. Meatball doesn't like small children, since whenever I had cousins over, they would mess with him and pull his tail. So he bit his hand since he was messing with him and tugging his ears. Me and the mom looked over in silence for a moment as the kid let out a blood-curdling screech. Then the woman runs over and kicks my dog. I lost it. I punch her in the stomach hard, right where your abdomen is. She yells, and I use this to scoop up my dog. I carry him like a baby and run inside. I make it in and lock the glass door. She's banging on the door, yelling that she's going to call the police and get my dog put down. Dash comes out into the kitchen. He loves people. He just sounds really mean, and he starts barking. The mother is obviously scared of this, so I open the door slightly, and he runs out barking. This scares her off as I call Dash back in. Didn't harm her, just barked and jumped around as he usually is when he's excited. We will see if she calls the police. Update if she did. And tell me how to put pictures on here so I can show you my good dog. I am just so mad right now. I'm clear, anything unclear up in the moment. I don't regret punching her, but I know it wasn't the right thing to do. But I was just so angry I couldn't think. Don't attack people. It's bad. Edit. Meatball just had a seizure a few minutes ago, probably from being choked. Now got through it. I'm comforting him and telling him how brave he is for making it through. Edit 2. The woman did call the police, but due to your guys' advice, I asked my neighbors about it. They saw her trespass and dragged my dog when they were coming to come tell me. That's when my confrontation happened. Some friends saw us arguing. We presented the evidence we had. They asked if my parents and I wanted to press charges. I said no because of her child. I think she was a single mother. Apparently her story was that she was walking by with her son and our dog was stuck and beat, so she ran over and unchained him from his post, and then I came out and assaulted her. Then the dog bit her son, and when she tried to protect my dog from me, my other dog came out and attacked her. I didn't hear much of the things that happened with police since parents handled the most part. I mostly gave my statement and told them about the neighbors and friends scene. Next up, entitled Dad Corrects the Colors in a Children's Book by KBLTS Pook. When I was a kid, I had a copy of the book Go Dog Go. It basically was just cute cartoons of different dogs and cars on their way to some big event. Harmless fun to teach kids colors and numbers, right? Apparently not. One day, my dad saw this book and cracked the absolute that the colors in the book were wrong. He seemed to have take personal offense to the book having the wrong colors, so he took it upon himself to go through the book and cross out the wrong color and write the correct one above it. All right, That's weird, but not so terrible. I hear you thinking, but wait for these 2 gems before you pass judgment. My dad's handwriting was completely illegible, even for an adult. No one could read the correct color. My dad is red, green, colorblind. Next up, entitled Mom Gets Mad That I Purposely Hurt Her Son by Sadie C. Long-time lurker here with a story to finally tell. On mobile, sorry if the format is gross. It's just an average day for me. I decided to go to Walmart to pick up a few things for dinner as I was missing some ingredients. I'm not too sure if it's the same in the U.S., but where I live in Canada, masks are mandatory at all the Walmart franchise. This is important info for the story. Now I'm just casually walking around the aisles, scanning up and down to find my products when I hear stomping and those sounds kids make when they run, only for me to witness the kid bumping into other people's carts, touching every single item in his reach, and putting his hands all over his face and mouth. Even if COVID never happened, that's still disgusting. And he looked no older than 6 to 8, and the kid wasn't even bothered to have a mask on. Great. The Walmart here is small, so it wasn't only once that I saw the kid acting crazy. Then it happened. Little kid wasn't paying attention, and he slammed into me and fell back quite hard. Obviously, I'm not going to touch or pick him up, so I just give him a quick, "Sorry, buddy. Please watch where you're going. I don't think anyone wants you hurt." He wasn't even in tears. He just let out an angry little grunt, then ran off again. I didn't want to egg it on any further because I had a bus to catch 20 minutes later, and I don't want to be around a maskless kid who's acting unruly. I thought I was in the clear, and boy, was I wrong. Cue entitled Mom. Hello? Excuse me. Me, already knowing that this is probably the boy's mother. Yes, is there an issue here? Yes, there is. I just saw my kid slam into you, and you didn't even try to comfort him. You just walked off. Are you kidding me right now? I'm sorry, but it's not my fault that your kid is acting crazy and running throughout the store, bumping into everything possible, and I don't feel comfortable touching your child since there's COVID going around still. And I did say sorry. I just told him to be careful afterwards. It's a little rude to assume we have such a deadly flu all because my kid is running about. I think you're heartless. He's just a child. And I think you're a bee. How about that? She made the most ugly and sour face known to mankind, had nothing to say, and just stormed on back to shopping with her kid. Dinner tasted even better that night. Next up, Crazy Parents. Might belong here. Want Child to Have Pixie Cut by Alex Trainer. So I needed a haircut and went to Sports Club, mainly marketed for guys. Women can go there too. Kid cut her own hair, bangs on. When I get there, she's almost done. Awesome hairdresser finishes up and asks Kid if she likes it, and she nods. Dad comes over and is like, "What happened to the pixie cut we talked about?" Entitled hairdresser. Awesome hairdresser. Sad kid cries when you showed that picture. She wants her hair long enough to braid still. I cleaned up her bangs and they will grow in soon. We want a pixie cut. We can forgive the charge this time, and when it grows out again, I'll clean it up for her again. I said we wanted a pixie cut. Why did you not do that? Your daughter is my customer too, and she really didn't want that. I couldn't cut off all of her hair against her wishes because she cut a little off the front. Let me talk to your manager. I am the area manager. Then the owner. And then we will go somewhere else for what I want. Here is the number. But no hairdresser will make a child cry by cutting off all her hair. Her bangs will grow back soon. Never coming back here again. Sad kid is crying the whole time. She didn't love her haircut, but was okay with it. She hated the pixie cut that parents wanted. She was like 7 or 8. I would guess her bangs were just in her eyes. Last, My Entitled Aunt Scams Welfare by Full Sheet. My entitled aunt is a scam artist. She's been collecting disability for 30 plus years and child support for all of her kids and her grandkids. She has no physical or mental disabilities and forcefully took her grandkids away from their parents for the child support. None of my cousins could afford to fight for custody. She even tried to convince my then 15-year-old cousin to get pregnant so she collect her 6th child support check off of her grandchildren. She's tried to force this type of behavior on myself as well, telling me I should apply for disability or get pregnant too. She practically ordered me to and told my mom how bad of a parent she was that she let my sisters and myself live our own life. I'm so ashamed of my aunt's backward behavior. I ended up moving away to a tiny town with no family connections to avoid the horrible influence she gives off. My only connection to family now is my mom, and I'm fine with that. Edit. This story is from my teen years. That's 6+ years ago. Thanks for listening. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Subscribe to our podcast and like us on Facebook.